sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join the live chat and watch a live broadcast. Simply go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream button. Try to make it as easy as possible for everybody. Lastly, do you want to support the show? Do you want to support SHR Media? Well, go to Reaver.one again and press shop. Yes, it's that easy. You can pick up the t-shirts. You can get a pro Second Amendment t-shirts, anti-Hillary t-shirts. You can get a Reaver of Common Sense logo shirts, survival bracelets, and pocket constitutions. All at one place. Well, at least I didn't totally screw it up today. So I see the big thing in news right now everybody's yammering about because Trump shook up his campaign again. Nobody was fired, just some people got moved up, some people got hired, they're shaking it up. Oh, well, he's this person that says he's anti-establishment, and he hired a guy from Goldman Sachs. Okay. They're always going to find something to bitch at. They were bitching at, oh my God, he doesn't have the right people in place. He needs to have these people. He goes and gets those types of people, and they complain. They're going to complain no matter what when it comes to Trump. No matter what, they are going to bitch and complain. And it's tiresome after a while. Because this bitching that they're doing, it's just that. It's just a bunch of whining in the ears. I don't know. I'm in a grumpy mood today. Freaking body's in pain all night. Wife kept me up half the night. She kept kicking me into my sleep. Well, she was sleeping. Oh, trying to get a lot of sleep. I want to give a quick announcement so I don't forget. Sackheads Radio will not be live tonight. We need to send out some prayers to Sean to make sure everything is okay. They should be back next week. Sorry, Clinton's. It's funny. Clinton's getting ready for a rally tonight, and the line is small as hell. If Trump had the numbers that Hillary Clinton does, they would be all over it. It would be 24-hour coverage. You know, showing, look, he doesn't have any support. Nobody's showing up. Nobody's showing up. Hillary does it, and they ignore it. Hillary breaks the law. They ignore it. In fact, they make excuses for her on why she breaks the law. This is exactly what everybody's been bitching and moaning about. And it seems like most of the Republican Party has come around and understands exactly what's going on. But it seems the Democrats, they ignore. They ignore. That's all they do. I mean, ignore and use people. They've been doing that for years. Doing it for years. It shouldn't come as a surprise to me. They've been using minorities. They don't give a shit about minorities. They haven't changed anything with their policies, except, well, they've made cities worse. Democrats have made everything worse. And if you don't believe me, look at Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, Trenton, Camden, Newark. The list goes on and on and on. And all you hear is the masses, like brainwashed little lemmings. It's the Republicans' fault. You haven't had a Republican office in God knows how long. But it's the Republicans' fault. They're the ones. No. It is the Democrats that you keep electing over and over and over again. It's the same people. It's the same Democrats over and over again that you keep electing into these positions that is causing all these issues. And they use the minorities. I mean, they use the gay, lesbian, trans community to get and stay elected. And now they're backing Muslims, and not the Muslims that will go out and kill them. And it blows my mind how so many can still stand behind. And they sit there and they believe all this bull crap that the Democrats spew. Well, they said we need to disarm. We're not allowed to protect ourselves. Please. If anything, they need to protect themselves even more now. And it was, I don't remember exactly who it was and the exact wording, but he was talking about being gay and how it used to be someone they judged and didn't approve of their lifestyle. He said they could deal with that. But now they got to deal with people that actually want to murder them because of their lifestyle. And they still see gays and lesbians blaming and putting all the onus onto those who just judge them. Yeah. That would be an easy choice for me. Eeny, meeny, miny, I'll take that one. I'd rather be judged than murdered. It just boggles me mind. And one of them was Sally Cohen. That just set me off yesterday. This dumb nitwit. She is not a journalist, political commentator. She is a mouthpiece for Hillary Clinton. This is the thinly veiled racial dog whistle, insulting attitude Trump appeals to and exploits. And it was somebody else made a comment about what's going on in Milwaukee and how BLM is a racist entity. It's people like her that are causing issues that are going on, the burning of the cities. She fuels it. She fuels the fire behind that hatred. And it pisses me off. It does, because I'm sorry. I'm actually. And she's got this hard-on for a dog whistle. I don't know why, because FYI, Trump's using Nixon's racial dog whistle law and order playbook. I get so sick of this shit. She is not a news personality. She works for the campaign. She may not be getting paid directly, but that's all she's doing. She's helping the campaign, period. Fucking idiots these people are. And somehow she's got to throw in her office is a disgusting mess. And someone made a joke about it, and that they were supporting Hillary. Made a joke about the dirty. Well, she asked that. Well, I'm not running for office. Thank fucking God. Bad enough we got Hillary. There she goes again with a dog whistle. Just again and again, she's got this hard on for a dog whistle. Maybe I don't want to know. And this is the one that really, hey, Donald Trump, many progressive Muslims, the ones we should support in ideological fight against extremists, believe in Shahira. Excuse me, those that believe in it are the ones that want to kill you, you fucking moron. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to make that statement and be a lesbian? And want to help Shahira law that will have you put to death. And seriously, how dumb do you have to be? I'm trying to. There's a different version. A different group believes in something similar to the Muslims, and it's a different name than Shahir it goes by, and I can't remember it at this time. Damn it. I was reading about it last night. Just found it. Then my phone went, whoop, nope. No, let's see. I found the page. Let me see what it's talking about. Hideth, if I remember right, is the one that it's similar to the secular law, but it varies on several parts. But excuse me, Shahir law is, well, it's gonna have you killed just for being gay. How? Why? Why would you actually do that? Back the group that wants to kill you. I don't know. It drives me up a wall. How brainless do you have to be? How much do you have to be paid to sell out and endanger your fellow lesbians, fellow gays, and all that? How? But yet we're the ones that hate them. You know what? That pisses me off. I don't hate anybody for whatever sexual. Well, shouldn't say that because pedophiles I do hate. No, I'm not comparing gays. I said any sexual. My uncle was gay. I've been around gay and lesbians. It does not friggin' bother me. Doesn't bother me. I don't care. And yes, you should have the right to marry. Yeah, go ahead. You want to be tortured too? Hey, if I got to be tortured with the 3 rings of suffering, you should too. And if you don't know what the 3 rings of suffering is, it's engagement ring, wedding ring, suffering. It's the wedding cake shit. I would take that over someone not wanting to make a wedding cake over someone that wants to throw me off a fucking building. And yet you still back to people that are selling you out. You know, when that horrible incident in Orlando happened, I thought this might be a turning point that gets the Democrats to get behind the fight on ISIS. And no. The Democrats sold you out so that they could push gun control. Yep, that was their big plan. They tried to sell you out for gun control. But yet you still back them. There's a lot of groups, yes, that have left the Democrat Party over that crap. And then on a totally different subject, so Louisiana, massive floodings. Global warming. Sorry, a bad joke to a horrible situation, but you know what? They'll blame it on global warming. Then if there's a drought, it's global warming. Too much rain, global warming. Not enough rain, global warming. But Louisiana's flooding. Milwaukee's burning. Obama's golfing. You know what? You bitch and moaned about George Bush because he didn't get down there fast enough. And now we're trying to beg a president just to do a press conference to talk about it. The man has been on vacation almost every day since he got in office. Over 300 rounds of golf. The guy uses Air Force One as his private travel agent. And they complained about George Bush, but he went to, what, Camp David or his house in Texas. Those were his majority of his vacation days. This man travels God knows where, all over America, all over the world. And all I could think is un-fucking-believable. Unbelievable. He goes jet setting. We're burning and flooding, burning and drowning. And he's too busy. And it's not like they don't have the equipment. All that equipment is on Air Force One. Damn it. I thought I heard something in my ears. Even when I have the mute button on the mixer push, the TV, for some reason, I'll still hear a faint noise in the background. So I have to mute the TV at the same time. It's... This country is going to hell, and you got Democrats that are cheering it and trying to tell us that, no, everything's fine. And then those of us that do point it out, we get told that, stop hating on America. Oh, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, there is. And sticking your head in the sand, I don't. We're going nowhere fast in this life of ours. All right, we're going to go to commercial. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, Speaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. And if you want to watch a broadcast, that's easy. Go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. There's also a chat room there. We have chat rooms everywhere. They're popping up. They're multiplying. If you want to go, if you want to support the show, or if you want just to have an anti-Hillary Clinton t-shirt to show how much you hate that witch, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP and pick up yourself Life's a Bitch, Don't Vote for One. You can even pick up a Hillary for Prison t-shirt. I think I still have them. I have to check it out. There's a lot of things to choose from. Survival bracelets, pocket constitutions, bumper stickers. Right now they got Gary Johnson on at Fox, which is funny. I mean, they never would have had him on before. But they were just so anti-Trump. And let me tell you, it's when the main quote-unquote mass news agencies like Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Democrats and Republicans alike are fighting a candidate. When you see the establishment fighting a candidate, that tells me that's my man or woman. It's it goes to show how bad the politics has gotten in our country. It's why do I keep doing that? Hate that. I'll be listening to my show. I'm like, I don't even remember doing that. So let's see, where are we at now? And some of those hacked emails, they've come across the hacked Soros memos. George Soros' Open Society Institute viewed the 2015 Baltimore unrest following the death of Freddie Gray as an opening, a unique opportunity to create accountability for the Baltimore police while aiding activists in reforming the city, according to hacked documents viewed by Breitbart Jerusalem. The documents further confirm that the Open Society last year approved $650,000 to invest in technical assistance and support for the groups at the core of the budgeting Black Lives Matter movement. Now that I got totally tongue-tied. The information was contained in a detailed 69-page Open Society report on the agenda of an Open Society U.S. program board meeting held in New York. They funded Black Lives Matter to cause issues. We've known that for a while. We've known they've been paying off D-Ray. He's been living in a house funded by George Soros. You know, it goes on and on and on. This man has been funding the Muslim invasion in Europe. He's funding radical fights in the United States. He's funding these uprisings. He's pushing for open borders in the United States. I don't know what this man's issue is, but he's having fun destroying the whole world. And the report directly states The Open Society views the Baltimore unrest last year as a crisis that can be utilized to carry out the organization's agenda. The document states, the killing of Freddie Gray in April helped spawn weeks of peaceful protests by Baltimore residents and allies from the Black Lives Matter movement that were temporarily interrupted by a period of unrest that lasted less than 48 hours and resulted in some injuries and millions of dollars of property damage to neighborhood businesses. While many lamented the damage done, the overwhelming sentiment is that the uprising has catalyzed a paradigm shift in Baltimore that offers opportunity for major justice reforms. In particular, recent events offer a unique opportunity to accelerate the dismantling of structural inequality generated and maintained by local law enforcement and to engage residents who have historically been disfranchised in Baltimore City in shaping monitoring reform. Building on our existing network and program, OSI Baltimore will focus investments on creating a culture of accountability for policing in Baltimore, recognizing the persuasive racism, disrespect, and lawlessness that gave rise to recent events, and building the capacity of activists in Baltimore to demand and achieve immediate and long-term reforms. Now, explain to me, who's the party that's had control of Baltimore? It's been the Democrats. Who's called all the issues? The Democrats. Who's caused this racial inequality? That would be the Democrats. But yet we keep blaming Republicans for all the issues. I don't understand it. They have created this issue. They have stirred the pot. Every part of this has been the Democrats doing. But yet somehow the Republicans are at fault for everything. Can someone explain to me how the Republicans are at fault for all these Democrat cities that are ran into the ground, supposedly has all these racist cops, but yet, actually something just occurred to me. A lot of these cops are blacks, but they still say that they're racist against blacks. But at the same time, they say blacks cannot be racist. So how is it that these black officers are racist? Supposedly. I don't think they are. Is there issues that need to be looked at? Yes. But it is not the way it's being treated. And the government's getting what they want. Obama's getting what he wants. Now these police forces have to answer to the DOJ about everything, and he's getting his federal police force. That's the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal. Sorry, playing with one of the bracelets that I made a while ago. It's one of the tan firefighter bunker gear. Made it a little too big for my wrist. But And it's funny how now it's the Democrats keep causing these problems and then just point the finger away. And everybody falls for it. Democrats have been destroying city by city in America for years. And people keep believing it is the Republicans' fault. Either we have Democrats have a great PR department, or we have some really goddamn gullible people that'll blindly listen to anything and not look at facts anymore. I think it's people aren't looking at facts. Just coming out, convicted former Clinton staffer Kathleen Kane is to resign as Pennsylvania's Attorney General. She has been found guilty. Surprise, surprise, someone linked to Hillary Clinton that's been found guilty of a crime. How many of these people that are linked to the Clintons have been found guilty of all these crimes? All these politicians that just keep getting nailed. And people are stupid enough and keep voting them in. Keep voting them in and same shit, different day. And we keep doing it and doing it and doing it. But former Hillary Clinton staffer Kathleen Kane was found guilty Tuesday of perjury and other charges. Kane was found guilty on 9 felony charges in total for allegedly leaking confidential information to the media. Kane, the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, plans to resign from her post Wednesday as she faces prison time. On Monday night, a Montgomery County jury convicted Kane of all 9 counts against her, including perjury, obstruction, and official oppression. Jail time is possible after hearing days of testimony about petty feuds, political intrigue, and cloak and dagger machines. Judge Wendy Demchick Alloy ordered Kane to surrender her passport and threatened to jail her if she retaliated against the once trusted aide who testified against her. Democrat Governor Tom Wolf, who first called for Kane to resign when she was charged a year ago, said in a statement shortly after the verdict that Kane needed to do what is right. Breitbart News previously reported Democrat Pennsylvania Attorney General Kathleen Kane was recently arrested for allegedly disclosing confidential information about an investigation to the press. In reporting on Kane's suspension Monday by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, the mainstream media has glossed over at least one detail. Kane worked for Clinton. Kane gave up her job as district attorney in 2007 to join Hillary Clinton's first campaign for presidency. Kane's 2012 run for attorney general was boosted by high-profile endorser Bill Clinton. And it does not shock me. Not one bit. Does not shock me one bit. And that's why emails prove Marines were waiting for orders. Hillary lied, and 4 Americans died in Benghazi. An email recently obtained by Judicial Watch shows that the Pentagon was demanding Hillary allow them to send help to Benghazi during the 2012 attack. This would completely contradict the claim from Hillary and Leon Panetta that no forces were available and within reach to help provide to provide help to the compound that was under siege. From Fox News, as the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi was unfolding, a high-ranking Pentagon official urgently messaged Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's top deputy to offer military help, according to an email obtained by Judicial Watch. The revelation appears to contradict testimony Defense Secretary Leon Panetta gave lawmakers in 2013, when he said there was no time to get forces to the scene in Libya where 4 Americans were killed, including U.S. Ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens. It has popped up time and time and time again. We've been hearing from the forces on the ground. They were in transports ready for the okay. We have emails showing how Hillary made them change multiple times. It turned into a goddamn fashion show instead of going in, kicking ass, getting our people, and getting the hell out of Dodge. It could have been so much easier. We could have went in there, got them, got the hell out, and then played politics afterwards. Dealing with the other part would have been less hassle than dealing with what we've been. It would have been less hassle saving the people instead of losing all those lives. And I know again and again and again, the damn dumbass liberals, well, there was attacks on consulate under Bush, but you don't see us starting all these committees. That is the stupidest. And if you make that comment, I immediately think you're mentally retarded. Mentally handicapped. And you don't do anything to try to change your idiot ways. Yes, there's been attack on consulates and embassies. I understand that. I know there's been life lost before, and I understand that. But we always send in reinforcements to try to save them. We send in people and usually have a stronger defense. I mean, Jesus Christ, Iran overran our embassy and took hostages. It took a while, but we were able to get them out of there. But we didn't stand on our freaking hands. It pisses me off. We did nothing. That is where everybody's bitching, you dumbasses. We're not bitching that the actual event happened. We understand it happens. There could have been some things that would have hang on. Oh. Have you ever got so frustrated you kind of lose track of where you're at? Where we need to investigate is why wasn't backup given? Why was a video pushed? I mean, we all know it was during re-election year for Obama. He had just shot his mouth off how the terrorists were on the rope. They didn't want it known publicly that we had a terrorist incident right before the elections. They sacrificed hoping that they can cover it up. What they didn't expect is the tenacity of those brave men and women that fought through it and survived. But if we would just sent, and I've said it time and time again, if we would have sent reinforcements in, even if we would have lost the two initial, yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been sad. But I don't think we would have had the issues that we do now. I don't think we would be having all these conversations. It would have been under the other attacks that have happened. But, I mean, you have a letter being sent out. I just tried you on the phone, but you were all in with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Reads the email from Panetta's Chief of Staff, Jeremy Bash. After consulting with General Dempsey, General Ham, and the Joint Staff, we have identified the forces that could move to Benghazi. They are spinning up as we speak. And all it needed was a, okay, take off. And so many people still cover this up and cover it up and cover it up. They go to the point that the DNC, Democrats all alike, up and down, from politicians to supporters, have attacked Pat Smith. One even calling for her death. But I don't see the mainstream media jumping all over that. There's video of Hillary talking about how it was a video that caused the deaths. And now she sits there and says, I never said that when the bodies came in. She lied to the families over the caskets, over the dead bodies. Lied. Knowing it was a lie. And people make excuses about it. That email was sent at 7:19. It was the early stages of the siege. That also claimed the lives of Sean Smith, Foreign Service Information Management Officer. 2 former Navy SEALs, Ty Woods and Glenn Doherty, who were private CIA contractors, and then Ambassador Chris Stevens. And they were delayed going. Because their base commander didn't want to risk letting people know about the CIA annex building, which was everybody already knew that was in that area. Everybody with any brains knew there was military assets ready to go. When the alarm went out that the base was under attack, all the surrounding areas, it set off alarms for them to scramble, but yet they were never allowed to go in. And this is who people want us to elect to be president. The woman who couldn't bother to say yes to sending in support. Then again, this woman also is the same woman that will say and do anything to be president. She has flip-flopped, not just changed her mind. I mean, she has literally flip-flopped this primary on what she stands for. First, she wants to close all coal mines, and then it's no, that was a misunderstanding. We just want some. We're going to put some restrictions and all this, and then afterwards it was, oh no, I meant what I said. We're going to close all the coal mines down. The woman, it depends on who she's in front of, is what she'll say. It's unbelievable. And with that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, also, you can go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. You can watch the broadcast of the show live, and you can join the live chat through there. If you want to support the show, you can go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Pick up a Reaver of Common Sense t-shirt today. Just a little message. Sackheads will not be live tonight. They'll be back next week, ready to go. So, where are we? I don't know. All right. So, where are we today? I'm off today. I know I am. It's damn weather we have. Not getting a lot of sleep. Where are we? Going through the notes. It's funny now. Hillary is being blamed for inflaming the situation in Milwaukee. A Governor Scott Walker from Wisconsin criticized Democrat presidential nominee Hillary Clinton for her remarks a day earlier at a campaign stop in Pennsylvania, declaring that the unrest in Milwaukee over the weekend demonstrated a need for law enforcement to rebuild trust with the community it protects. That is the biggest asinine statement. What the hell? The pandering that these Democrats are doing, and how they're basically encouraging this type of they are helping to encourage these people doing the rioting and looting. They come up and they're making excuses for justifying their actions. Oh, bullshit. This is a bunch of people that basically want to get away with, they don't want to have to follow the laws, period. That's what's going on. And they come up with these asinine ways of, well, we'll police ourselves. So now you're going to have different laws depending on what community you're in. Corruption with that type of system has and will run rampant. Basically, it is a bunch of people that want to break the law, and they're using this as an excuse. The guy had a gun and turned on the police. Of course, you're going to get your ass shot no matter what color you are. It has been proven statistically that the whites are killed more than blacks by police. Even when you take into account the difference in percentage of population. You can figure out the difference to bring it down to an equal ground, and the whites still get killed. The blacks get harassed more, yes. Not going to doubt that. We're not talking harassment. We're talking being killed by police officers. The ones that are killing the blacks the most are fellow blacks. That's happening at a high rate. But nobody wants to talk about black-on-black crime. Everybody wants to ignore that, including Black Lives Matter. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Obama, Loretta Lynch, they all want to ignore black-on-black crime. And they keep pointing to the white-on-black police crime. And then they say, no, we're not dividing the country. Then what the hell do you call what you're doing? Walker went on to say, I think comments like that are just inflaming the situation. I think people understand in that neighborhood, in Sherman Park in Milwaukee, they want the law enforcement to step up and protect them. The people who live in that neighborhood want police in Milwaukee and the sheriff's department to step up and protect them. They don't want the criminals who are doing those actions against those businesses to do that. And I think statements like that and the lack of leadership we've had from the president on this issue only inflames the situation. We all know that certain groups have been hiring people to go in and cause these uprisings, cause this violence to happen. But it's happened so often now they don't need to send in the paid rioters. People just do it automatically. What we need is politicians, if they want to open their mouths, to open it to help the situation. Not make it worse. Not use it for political gains. We have a president who has caused such a divide in this country, has made all those steps forward within the racial issues, it put us back. We have now fell back in all those steps we took forward on racial issues. And again, I know he points fingers everywhere else. But remember the words that he said. He is the leader. And the buck stops with him. He has failed. He has failed to create an atmosphere in this country that makes racial divide any better. He's done everything he can to make it worse. For whatever reason, he has made it worse. It's not too good. Pat Kendall said that this election will change amazingly if Trump makes the issue who runs America. Political analyst Pat Kendall offered his take on the latest Breitbart News / Grievous poll on Tuesday morning. The top line result of the poll had Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump 42-37 in a four-way race, which also included Libertarian Gary Johnson at 9 and the Green Party Jill Stein at 3. Kendall said he was particularly interested in segment of the survey that asked both the conventional "Is America on the wrong track?" question and also "Is America seriously on the wrong track?" A little less than half the country said we were seriously off on the wrong track, and another quarter basically said we were off track. What's interesting is if you drill down in some of those numbers, you'll find that, for instance, among young people, very high numbers, almost 70% on the wrong track, which is really high for them. It was asked why this powerful sense of the country being on the wrong track hasn't translated to a polling advantage for Donald Trump. It's not yet, in part because I don't think the election has joined around the issue. We're still in a very loose and framed election in which right now the press, all their attention has been devoted to, if you will, I can portray it as anti-Trump. But I think that's a mild understatement. And the Democrats, of course, have been hammering him to keep it an election on personality. He said this loose focus on personality will keep the polls very volatile until the focus shifts to issues during the presidential debate. When you start looking at how people think the country's doing, the economy is doing, for instance, you've got a huge majority in this poll who show that they believe that America has gotten weaker internationally. By the way, it's interesting. Both questions are framed for people to frame the election. The election is much closer, depending again on how you place the question. It was asked why Trump's campaign has not been able to shift the campaign narrative onto this favorable issue change. And part of it is Trump himself, and part of it is campaign that has apparently, well, to be kind about it, the offensive campaign that they might have planned to do, that wasn't in place before the candidate kind of moved the campaign to other things. That made his personality and himself the center of the issue. The issue here for him, which is clear, is that this is a country in trouble. This is a country where economy and foreign policies are in trouble. And she represents for a country that sees by vast majority that the political class in Washington is corrupt and rigged and rigging the system for themselves. That has not yet come center place. Well, hopefully we can see a change in the campaign. I think with the last two speeches that Trump gave, he's not being given enough credit. He's been given speeches on economy, on foreign policy, on the terrorist issue. The problem is it's not that he hasn't tried, that he's not doing. It's the problem that the left media would rather pander to Hillary and talk about Trump the man instead of Trump the presidential candidate. He should not ignore the attacks. Well, you ignore, but you don't ignore. And I do agree. I think once the debates kick in, a lot of the issues that have been going on will go to the wayside, and they'll get more about substance, about what they're going to do. And that's where he's going to be able to hurt her. She needs to be coached. She needs a teleprompter. He's quick on his feet, quick thinking. He doesn't need a teleprompter. That is going to be his advantage during the debates. As long as we have a moderator that is neutral, that asks the question, then shuts the hell up, I think Trump can do fine. But if we have moderators that stick their nose to help cover up issues, then we're in trouble. And Goodell goes on to say that what they're trying to do is disqualify him from the presidency. He needs now to go back and say, hey, wait a minute, what kind of country do you want to continue to have? The one that is inevitably, slowly before our eyes, declining and not succeeding? Or do you want to take a chance on making things better? I can help you make things better. He has not engaged that. The minute he engages, this election will change amazingly. Thing is, I've seen that in his speeches, and those who actually listen to his speeches see it. There's a lot of people that are not opening their ears. They have this preconceived notion, and they don't want to listen to anything he has to say. He's been talking about a lot of the issues in his speeches. Just people keep their mouth shut. I like that Trump keeps throwing an attack on Clinton. Because I like it because he's taking their playbook and using it against them. She has to talk about certain issues as he brings it up, instead of her being on the offensive. Now, he's got to watch how he attacks because he can go over the line. But he needs to keep on about the Benghazi, her emails, that she wasn't indicted, how there is a corrupt system in place, about her policies, and just keep hammering it on that and make her respond. Let her screw herself. That was just a nasty image that popped in my head. She is locked into what she is, Goodell went on. All she could do is put up barriers or throw up arguments against Trump. Trump is the independent variable in this equation. He is the one that could force those things that matter to people to the front. That is what a change election is about. And if he just keeps, he's got to force her into talking about the email. Force her to keep lying, because even the left-string media has nailed her on her lying about the FBI. Get her to change her stories. Get her to just try to defend herself. We need, as Republican, also to stop the bickering. And I'm finding it somewhat comical that for years we had this the establishment, and they would tell everybody, well, this is your candidate, you need to shut up and get behind him. And like good little soldiers, we all shut up and got behind the candidate. We saw how that went in 08 and in 12. So now we're telling the establishment that they need to shut up and get behind Trump. Plain and simple. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Sitting there saying, well, I'm going to go and vote for Gary Johnson. He's more in line with Hillary. It's, oh, man. I just... And this is, history's kind of repeating itself. Now, again, I've never said that Trump is Reagan. But it's going along the same lines. The same thing was being said about Reagan back in the day. They had Reagan defined as a risky, very risky and dangerous person. The outcome, the election that went in close and came out big in Reagan's favor. And unless there is massive fraud, I don't know if Hillary's going to be able to. I know what the polls say. But I don't see that as the outcome. I don't. I'm sorry. There's also a lot of experts that think this is going to be a landslide in Trump's favor when the actual election comes. There's too many hidden Trump vote that when they're talking on these polls, it's they're siding with Clinton, but in private they're saying they're going to vote for Trump, and that there is a large section that is in that category. And I do agree with Cadell that they need to transform and get more on policy. I'm not saying ignore the bullshit, but there's a way that Trump does it that when an accusation is thrown at him, he's able to deflect, ignore, and keep going. Where candidates in the past, they surround themselves to chase that negative the whole time to try to disprove the negative, which is basically impossibility to disprove a negative. It's not easy. And that's what we've seen twice now. Twice they have they make these wild accusations, and then the candidate spends his whole time chasing that accusation. I've talked about that repeatedly. So, all right, it is time for those evil breaks. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying confident, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. While you're on the live stream, you can also join the chat. Be a part of the conversation. If you want to support the show, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE. Pick up yourself a Hillary Clinton Life's a Bitch, Don't Vote for One t-shirt. Or Vote Monica. She got the job done when Hillary couldn't. Take a look around. There's something for everybody on the page. So, where were we? Don't forget tonight is going to... damn it. Tonight will be Reaver of Common Sense, or excuse me, Southside Mutt Show at 8 o'clock. And the Sackheads at 11 will be a replay that will not be live tonight. Unfortunately, there is some issues that happen that Sackhead Sean needs to take care of. So, they haven't pushed that Hillary, I mean, they've been trying, but it really hasn't taken off yet, and it will. They haven't pushed, the Trump campaign has not forced the definition for Hillary. Sorry, a little tongue-tied. He has to push for how events and attitudes are so much worse than they were 35 years ago. They do believe that Hillary Clinton is corrupt, that she represents, she is the epitome, she is the epicenter of a political class, crony capitalism, and she knows how the way it works. They have not challenged that more specifically And that's one of the reasons the campaign is off. Because the press and the Democrats, particularly the press, whatever Trump says, they will find something to start trying to knock him down. Which he has pretty much ignored, and he does turn it back onto the press. He does a good job of that. I like that. And he pushes that how the press is in Hillary's pocket. That starts to throw some doubt into people. Cadell says that he will close the gap. And I tell you, you're right about the media. So therefore, what do you do about that? You must take it to the level of not whining about the media. See, I don't think he's whining. I think he's pointing it out, and it's putting doubt in people's mind about not listening. A lot of people know it. Some people still trust the mainstream media. I don't know why, but they still do. But it's 2/3 in a poll, 2/3 say they have lost faith in the media. Ooh, lights just started dimming for a second. And then part of why that dumbass, I can't remember, Sally Cohen came out about Shahir law. Donald Trump is calling for a Shahir law ban. We need it to make sure that there's never any of that put into play in the United States. The Huffington Post reports on Donald Trump's Monday foreign policy speech trying to undermine his announcement of an ideological test for immigrants that would filter out supporters of Shahir law, which is in line with the Constitution. Shahir law is in direct contradiction of the Constitution. We have the right to deny people that do not want to follow our Constitution, our way of life. But amazingly, they did not call the proposal racist or bigoted, which that's amazing. That's their go-to words for the Huffington Post. But they argued it would be difficult to execute. Under the framework Trump laid out in a speech in Youngstown, Ohio, anyone applying for a visa to enter the United States would be subject to what Trump calls extreme vetting, which we goddamn need. In the Cold War, we had an ideological screening test. The time is overdue to develop a new screening test for the threats we face today. I call it extreme vetting. Our country has enough problems. We don't need more. And these are problems like we've seen before. In addition to screening out all members or sympathizers for terrorist groups, we must also screen out any who have hostile attitudes towards our country or its principle, or who believe in Shahir law should supplement American law. Trump did not elaborate on how he plans to overcome enormous logistical challenges of issuing ideological tests to millions would-be visitors and residents. We've done it for years. I think we could do it. We have a vetting process. We have a litmus test already in place. But it hasn't been updated. It hasn't changed in decades. And it's a simple process of actually just changing what we have to correspond to today's society. I don't understand what the issue is of trying to protect this country. Why is the left so adamant about bringing in these people that want to destroy our country? And then in the same breath, they say they care about the country. You can't have it both ways. We either protect the country or you want to do it harm. There's too many idiots here that hate this country. And for whatever reason, they are here. Well, I'm sorry. If someone comes into your house and is trying to burn your house down, you don't let them stay. You get them the hell out of your house. Let me tell you, I have a party and I hear someone just bashing my house left, right, and center and bashing me. Do you think they're going to stay at that party? No, they get told to fucking leave. It's the same principle. Listen, if you want to come to this country because you want to experience the greatness, have a chance for success, by all means, come here. And that's the thing. The left has to lie about the intentions of the right. We have no problem with immigration. We're against the illegal immigration. You're proving that you're willing to break laws to get what you want. We're against the immigration of people who hate us, who want to destroy us. And yes, I know it can be somewhat easy to lie on a litmus test. I understand that. It's not going to catch 100%, but it's going to help because when you start background checks, when you start looking into the person's life, you can start correlating to what is a lie compared to what is the truth. It's unbelievable the attacks that are going on. It's I'm at a somewhat of amazement that so many people the 9/11 hijackers had fraud written all over their visa. Some of these people, it is fraud. You don't allow them to come into the country. It's that simple. It's that easy. You protect the country. The country's safety comes before immigrants. A friend of mine posted an article on Facebook from my area that I'm from, and they just had a murder. And he posted the article. It's a dangerous world out there, but in adding more of these idiots in is not going to help the country. Now, I was just reading during the break, some idiot, they're still on, Trump is trying to sabotage his campaign so that Hillary can win the election. Has anybody ever known Trump? I can tell you right now, his ego is too big to throw. The man is about winning. Losing is not part of his personality. Throwing election is not his personality. Jesus Christ, if they were out to let Hillary win and help, they would have got goddamn Jeb Bush to run. Jeb Bush would have got his ass handed to him. Trump is in there to win, and these idiots that keep, you don't vote for who's president. It's decided already. Well, that's what they said in 2008 about Hillary. That's what they said about Jeb Bush, beginning of the primary. But we elected other people. I don't believe that anymore. There's been too many curveballs given. It's the negativity out of some of these people, it's amazing to me. And years before, I would have agreed that the elections were preordained on who was going to win. Nobody wanted Trump. No one thought Trump could win within the establishment. But here we have Trump as the nominee. If he was trying to sabotage this election so Hillary could win, there's a whole bunch of shit he could have done already that would have destroyed his campaign. It is rhetoric that the left is coming up with as to try to convince people not to vote for him. It's all it is, a bunch of rhetoric. And it's pretty bad. Left-string media is now acknowledging that Donald Trump was right and has a point when he blasted Hillary and Obama for creating ISIS. Hillary is vulnerable. ISIS did gain strength during her time as Secretary of State. Conservative talk show Hugh Hewitt tried to give Mr. Trump an out. I know what you meant. You meant that Obama, created the vacuum. He lost the peace. And Trump, no. I meant he's the founder of ISIS. I do. He was the most valuable player. I give him the most valuable player award. I give her, too, by the way, Hillary Clinton. Trump is correct, and quite literally so. First the document, then some history. Thanks to Judicial Watch, we now have an August 2012 Defense Intelligence Report on the civil war in Syria and the situation in Iraq that openly stated that the policy of the United States and an ally was to support the Salafist opposition to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. That opposition at the time, spearheaded by al-Qaeda in Iraq and the Islamic State of Iraq, soon morphed into ISIS. The report appears to have originated from the U.S. Central Command in Iraq, well before their intelligence product was tarnished by political interference from the top commanders in 2014, aimed at diminishing the threat from ISIS. What do you think that CIA annex building was doing? They were arming these groups who became ISIS. They were arming them. It's already been admitted that they gave millions of dollars to ISIS. Our government, with Hillary and Obama, are directly responsible for the creation of ISIS. I've been saying that for a while now. Not figuratively, they helped create it. Both through that vacuum that Obama created when he withdrew all the troops in Iraq, and within financing and arming these groups. Why do you think when they started attacking, and he started with they're a JV team, he's trying to cover up. That's why they didn't want that annex building getting involved in the attack. Because they wanted to hide that they were running guns out of Libya. And this is what Hillary Clinton, one of her accomplishments is, creating ISIS. We've all governments, we've created some evils during the time. But this one, we could have ended it so quickly, but Obama has no balls. And you also have in December of 2012, thanks in large part to the active lobbying of Miss Clinton and U.S. Ambassador to Syria Robert Ford, Obama declared that the United States considered the opposition the legitimate representatives of the Syrian people. What was secret until the release of this August 2012 defensive intel report is that the United States knew that Syrian opposition was dominated by al-Qaeda in Iraq and Islamic State of Iraq, groups that merged and morphed into what today we call ISIS. Al-Qaeda, what we were fighting for, and here they are helping them. They were helping the enemies that killed all those people in New York. Hillary and Obama helped the same group that flew planes into the trade towers. And this is what, as Democrats, you were supporting. There's others, not just Trump. For example, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran has also accused the United States of creating ISIS, but as a tool for encroaching Iran's effort to dominate the Muslim world. In fact, Obama and Hillary's policies have simultaneously favored Iran and its rise to regional dominance, siding aside as Iran filled the vacuum in Iraq with its own militia and allowing Iranian troops and weapons to flow onto battlefields in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, and Libya, and beyond. Documents obtained by Judicial Watch show that the United States was also complicit with arms shipments from Benghazi to the jihadi rebel group in Syria. These particular shipments were distinct from the more publicized case of al-Anati, a Libyan fishing vessel that arrived in Turkey crammed with weapons in late August 2012. The shipment described in this recently declassified document were sent directly to small Syrian ports under rebel control and included RPG grenade launchers, sniper rifles, and ammunition for 125 millimeter and 155 millimeter howitzers. Deflecting attention from these arm shipments is precisely why Obama and Hillary hatched their blame it on a YouTube video narrative as the cause of the Benghazi attack. It was a deliberate deception to trick the American people and cover up their misdeeds. Obama's disastrous withdrawal of U.S. combat troops from Iraq in December 2011 clearly enhanced the ability of AQI and ISIS to seize control of large portions of Iraq territory and certainly contributed to the birth of ISIS. It also opened the door for Iran to fill the vacuum. From documents from a defensive intel report from August 2012, Obama and Hillary wanted to create an ISIS-controlled enclave in Syria in order to isolate the Syrian regime, which is considered the strategic depth of the Shiite expansion. Donald Trump was right again. Again. Well, the time has run out. And I want to thank everybody. And remember, tonight, Southside Much So, 8 o'clock, shrmedia.com. And I am so humbled to be here, people. I appreciate it, and thank you. Have a great day. Be safe. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.